Hello guys, welcome to the part 4 of tower defense tutorial and the final part of this tutorial. In this part 4 we'll be looking into some few things before we start up. Number one is I would like you to back up your projects. You can do that by copying and pasting them. And number two is I would like you to be very careful and watch closely because and pause if possible. And number three is I would like you to download the link of this object in the description down below. All the link of the object is in the description. It's like number four is the screenshots of the particles is in the description. The configuration of the particles, the fire tank and the ice tank of the particles is in the description. I would like you to download it in the description, so when we reach time for particles and setting up, I will not be setting them up in this video. Please take note. You just use the screenshots to configure them. It's literally the same thing. For further explanation about particles, you can watch Wishward's game. He made a good examples of how you can create particles. And finally, I would like to run this game and show you how it look when we are done. This is how it will look when we are done with this project. This is our ice tank. I'll close it now and run it again. Okay guys, this is how the flaming tank will look. It took all the gold because it's the most expensive type. It's worth $200. And we can close this. Okay, this is the first thing we're working in this tutorial. Sorry I didn't mention it earlier. Number one is the AI tank, which is the tank to shoot at the specific range, and number two is their variables, and number three is adding of the new tank, which is the flaming tank and the ice tank, and number four is the time and the interface of the game, which is the play game and quit this game. Much talk, let's start doing something. Okay guys, the first thing we're working on this video is the AI enemy, and what we want about the AI is we want the AI to shoot at a specific range. If you play this, you can see our tank is not shooting at a specific range, it's shooting at a very long range, and we want to fix that, which is not normal, and they are all shooting at the same direction at the same time, which is not good. So let's work on that, which is the AI enemy. So go to the event and open Defender, and on rotation you add a event there for each object. You drag the rotation down, you can delete this, we don't need this, and you choose the object is Defender. Go to action and pick the nearest object, which is enemy. Let's it fix at our point. If you are using the point, if you did not rename your point, you make sure your point is capital letter, and let's put that down here. You can change the X to Y. Okay, now if you run this, you can see our object is shooting, our tank is shooting this way, and our bullet is shooting its own way, which is something we need to do for our bullet to shoot the exact same way our tank is facing. In order to do that, we will go to bullets, you copy this, we want to position our bullets to the angle which our tank is facing. You paste that here, this will face that. Now we want to make the bullet to shoot at the specific range. You do that by going to position, distance between two objects. We use our Defender to our enemy, and the distance is 200. Believe me, I've already done this before. 200 is kind of the perfect match, but if you want to increase your range, go ahead, yours is the best. Now click that. Now when our enemy have our bullet is shooting at the nearest enemy, we have the distance, which is the range. Now we want to make the bullet to shoot from the angle our tank is facing. Now go to add force. We want to add force angle, and the angle is our tank, which is the defender angle. Okay, now we are done with the AI enemy. If you run this now, it's run correctly, and this is our results. The enemy won't shoot unless the tank won't shoot unless the enemy is closer to it, which is what we want. Now we have done that. Let's go to the next one. So let's work on the next task. The next task is creating new tank. Go to the scene and add a new objects. Is what we want to create is the fire hitbox. Now rename this fire hitbox. Add an animation and edit with PSK and resize it to 3712. Resize and put any color of your choice, and when you are done with that, pause this video and repeat that for the ice tank, then we'll catch up later. Okay, I choose red for my fire hitbox and blue for my ice hitbox, and next we'll be creating. Okay guys, I created the fire and the freeze particles, and in order to do that, you go to add new objects, particles emitter. In this place you can create the particles, but I'm not going to do that in this video to save time. And the particles, the texture of the flaming, the fire and the eyes I use in this video is from Wishwatch Games. He's a YouTuber that does good tutorial too about Gdevelop, and I'm just gonna show you the configuration for the fire and freeze particles. You can see this dark smoke, dark magic smoke, and if you scroll down, this is the configuration for the fire. You can pause this video right now and copy it, and this is the configuration also for the freeze, and this is the texture I use, the glow. You can pause this video again and copy it, or you can download the screenshots in the description down below, and when you are done we come back again and we continue. Thank you for understanding. Before I move on, I would like to show you how the fire and the freeze look like. If yours is looking exactly like this, we are good to go. If it isn't, continue setting it until you get it. Once you get it, play this video, we are good to go to the next phase of this tutorial. Okay, this is quick thing I'm gonna do in this video. If you download the recent project I told you to download in part 3, I would like you to change it to this recent one. As you can see, I've resized them, and I'll be resizing them again in the event, so take notes. And let's delete this, we don't need this anymore. Now I would like you to create a picker on the flaming tank and the ice tank. Let's duplicate this first and name this picker with capital letter. Done, and go to the ice and then name it same picker with capital letter. Now done, and delete this. As you can see, it's on the flaming tank, not on the picker, and replace it with the flaming tank picker. You can rotate that and rotate this, and let's go to the next phase. Now remember that our defender picker has a variable click. We want to also make that variable in our flaming tank, pick, and our ice tank. You go to variable and add a new variable and name it click 2. And put 0. Don't forget to put it 0. Sorry, 0. Apply this, repeat this for the ice picker. Add a variable, name it click 3. And the number there is 0. Now we'll go to the flaming tank and give it a variable. that says ID, and the ID we want it to be set to 0, and add another variable. This variable we use for the purchase. We are not doing that now. We'll be on the purchase on the tank when we want to purchase it in a particular price, and add this fire tank. And spell the tank with capital letter. Apply this. Repeat this for the ice tank. Add variable, the variable ID to 0. The ID is for the rotation of the child variable, which is the particles and the heat bus. So name this ice tank and leave this blank, don't write anything there, and apply. The next thing we'll be doing is the variable, which is the charge variable, adding the charge variable. And what I'm going to do now in this fire heat bus, you're gonna repeat it in the ice heat bus, the fire particles and the freeze particles. So let's start with the fire heat bus. Add variable, and name of this variable is capital letter I, initial angle, add another variable, distance to parents, add another variable that says angle to parents, even though we are not really using this angle to parents in this video. It might be helpful in another project of yours if you are creating something X. This is the formula to rotate a object towards the angle of another without having an issue. Now this third one is for the shop. This third one is parents to tank, and now I'm slow at typing, just bear with me. Now this parents to tank, make sure you add 0 here. Then this one, leave it blank, and leave it blank. I'll put the test on the screen so that to help you to type this particular thing in the fire ice heat bus. The test is now showing on the screen. Now type that same thing in ice heat bus, fire particles and freeze particles. Type it in their variables. When you are done, we'll come back, we'll go to the next phase. Okay guys, what you just did here is pinning an object into another according to Gdevelop. When you pin an object into another, the parent object, the child object do exactly what the parent object is doing. The child object rotates the same way the parent object is rotating, and also move the same way the parent object is moving. It's like it's attached to the parent object. So that's what we use for the rotation of the fire heat bus and the fire when we're putting our flaming tank in the scene and our ice tank. So take note of that. We'll be working on that in the events where you are heading to right now. Okay, before we move on, I want you to give the flaming tank pick a behavior and the ice tank a behavior. Ice tank pick a behavior too. Give it a draggable behavior. Go to the ice tank pick and give it a draggable behavior. Okay, now you can go to the event, close this bus and open Defender. Around this point, I want you to add a comment that says flaming tank. Drag it down want you to write a comment that says flaming tank two. Okay, on flaming tank 2 comment being selected, right click and add a for each object and select Dropbox. Then you copy this and paste it right here, and to save time you copy this also and paste it right here. Now change the defender picker to the flaming tank pick, and you copy, before you copy that you select a sub event and copy these trigger ones and paste it here. As the trigger ones, I want you to copy this. To copy is Ctrl C and paste it right here, and change the defender to flaming tank, and I want you to also paste that right here again and paste it again if you have copied it, and change this to fire hit boss, and also change this to fire the particles. Now go to action, objects, you go to variable, modify the variable from objects, use flaming tank, the variable is fire tank, and set it to add 1. Now click OK. I would like you to also copy this, Ctrl C to copy again and paste it right here. That's also what we are doing, and change this to flaming tank. I want to also paste that right here again and paste it, change it to fire hit boss and fire the particles. And you can change the fire hit boss to around 12 or 11 or 12, and change the fire the particles, sorry, and change fire the particles to 11. The variable user, I'll use it later in this tutorial. For now, just leave it that way. Okay, for each instance of Dropbox has been selected, I want to right click and create an event below, copy this and paste it right here, Ctrl V, and I want to also copy this and paste it right here, and I want you to change the defender pick to flaming tank pick. I want you to add another event 5 minutes. I want to also copy this and paste it right here. I want to copy this and also paste it right here. I want to also copy this and paste it right here. Now change the defender pick to flaming tank pick, and change the defender picker to flaming tank picker. And now I want you to go check the position of the flaming tank, which we will do together. And our position of our flaming tank picker is 607 by position 9. Now I want to change that now. 607 the Y position X 9. Now if you want this, you see we can place our flaming tank. Let's do the same for the ice tank. Now let's create the ice tank. Now to do that, I want us to click on here and make a comment. Don't bother, just name it ice tank 3 and drag it down. The easy way to copy all this is drag this backward for now. We'll see, put it in order. I want us to right click on there and copy this, Ctrl C, and right click again, Ctrl V. When it gets down below, what you do, just drag this back as normal and take this ice tank tray, left click, drag it up back and leave it here. Drag this back again and change all the flaming tank to ice tank. Pick ice tank, pick ice tank, pick. Now this the ice tank, not the ice tank pick, but the ice tank. Ice hit pause, freeze. Remember, freeze is the particle of ice tank. In this variable I want you to enter, because this variable used to have some issues. I want you to change the variable to ice tank and clean the fire tank variable and change to ice tank. Add one, okay, and change this to ice tank. Change this to ice hit pause. Change this to freeze. Finally change this to ice pick, ice picker. And I want us to go check the position of our ice picker, and the position of our ice picker is 708 YR65. Let's go and change that. 708 the y-axis is 5. Okay, if you run this now, you find out that what we have done is working, but you can find out that our drop box is showing only one object, which is not what we want. And in order to fix that, we have to copy this, Ctrl C, go up here beneath our first defender and paste it. I will explain what's happened there. And also copy this, the fire, copy, Ctrl C, paste it. Now copy your position, Ctrl C, paste it. Finally the ice tank, copy its position and paste it. What happened there was it's reading all these objects acts. Is only working in the last drop box. So why it's supposed to be working in two of them? Because two of them are saying the same objects to hide drop box. So it's picking one randomly to hide the drop box. I hope you understand the explanation of it. And in order to fix that, let's delete this, delete and leave only this one. Now if you run this, see if you can see it's working perfectly. It's showing in our defender, it's showing in our flaming tank, it's showing in our ice tank. So let's move to the next phase. Okay guys, I noticed something very quick here. Our ice tank and our ice tank variable are the same name. I want us to change that so that it can give us an error later in this game. Right click on ice tank and go to variable and change this ice tank to freeze tank. Apply that, freeze tank, apply that. Now let's change it in the event. Can double click. This variable have some issues. Now change it to freeze tank and okay. The next step is linking to objects. So I want you to create two events, 1 and 2, and click on the last one and create a new comment and name that comment linking to objects. next one X flaming tank. Okay, click on this event and right click, and for each object you can drag it up, and the objects we'll be using first is flaming tank. Now before I go to the next phase, if you haven't have this variable on your fire heat boss, your ice heat boss, and fire particles, flaming particles, freeze particles, better have those on, because those are what we'll be using in this phase of this tutorial. So let's head back and start creating something. Now go to action, objects, variables. Now choose fire effects, and we want to use the parent tank. It's set to type this down. The parent tank is set to flaming tank variable ID, close your brackets, okay. Now copy this and paste it here, and remember just click for incasity because it's starting to get complex, and change this to fire heat boss. Just click, now click OK. Now drag this back, right click here and add a new. For each object, add it again. Now you can drag this back, and you change the first one to fire heat boss, and the second one to fire. You can pause the video and check how far I've gone. Now add action. We'll link the two objects together first. We're linking flaming tank and fire heat boss, and we want to change the variable of our fire heat boss. Fire heat boss, the variable is initial angle. Initial angle is set to equals to fire heat boss dot angle, okay. Now go to action again, and variable of objects. This time we choose the same variable for objects, which is the fire heat boss, and the variable we're choosing is distance to parents, and set to fire distance, fire distance objects, and the object inside is the fire heat boss. So the object inside is fire heat boss, then this object here is, sorry for the mistake, is flaming tank. Please be very cautious of that. Flaming tank distance fire heat boss, and click OK. Now we'll repeat this for our fire particles. In order to repeat this, I would like us to copy this because I've already create it. Fix, copy this, fix, copy this, and fix. Now change the fire hitbox to fire the particles. Now remember this one right here, the fire hitbox, change it to fire. Don't miss these two bars. Let's change that, or you can enter inside so that you won't make mistake. Let's start from this one and change it to fire. Okay, enter this one and change it to fire. Okay guys, for each instance of flaming tank being selected, I want you to right click and get a new for each object. Right beneath you see put flaming tank, because that's what we're using, flaming tank, and I want you to put action. I want you to go to the condition and linking objects, take into account our fire hitbox to our flaming tank. You repeat this for our fire particles too. Copy this, fix it, change it to fire particles. Now go to action, position, put an object around another. I want to put fire hitbox around flaming tank at the distance of flaming tank as you see in the screen. Flaming tank variable, and distance to parent. And the angle x, flaming tank dot angle plus fire hitbox variable, and the variable is angle to parent. Don't leave a space. Close brackets. Okay. Now repeat this for the fire particles. Ctrl C, copy, and fix and enter, and change this to fire particles. Change this also to fire particles, and done, and press OK. Now go to action, angle. I want to change the angle of fire hitbox to equals to our flaming tank angle. Flaming tank, flaming tank angle, and we want to repeat that for our fire particles. Copy and paste. Now I change the name to fire particles. Then finally we want to give our fire a position, because it's the one that will be showing in the game. Before we do that, I would like to pick up flaming tank and go to hit points. This is the face I'll be using. If you doesn't have this face in your flaming tank, you just create one by adding this plus button and name it face or anything. Now close this, and we go and add it here, go to position, now I want to set the fire particles because this is what will be showing in the game, not the fire hitbox. The fire hitbox doesn't matter, it's set to flaming tank X, and its X position X fix, and Y position also, sorry, what the heck, and the Y position also, just change the X, or you can just name everything from scratch, and X set to the face also. Okay, next thing we'll be doing is creating a sub event, and what we're gonna do here is registering our objects when they're being created. By doing that, we use variables and number. Oh god, this took me weeks to figure out. So we're going to go to common object and objects. The number of, we will first go with our flaming tank. For our flaming tank is greater or equal to 1. We want to change the ID of our flaming tank to add 1. So you go to variable, modify variable, flaming tank, and the variable is ID. We want this ID to add 1. This will also use it for the deleting of the tank. Now add another sub event, and you can copy this to save time. Copy this, paste it again. Now change this to fire hitbox, and the second one to our fire. Now repeat this. You know they have different variable. I'll show you when you put pix and pix. Now enter. Now the variable will be changing. First, let's change the name. Objects, fire hitbox, and the variable we'll be using is the parent tank. I want it to also add 1. Now you can maybe delete this and copy this the other way. Paste and change the name, or you can enter for change the name to fire. One thing about variable, if you make one mistake, you will ruin your whole game. And make sure you click it again just to confirm. Okay, done. Okay, here is when you have been waiting for the rotate of the tank. I know you have been waiting for that one, but that is not a problem. Repeat for each object. Put that, and you select your flaming tank, and you go to condition, and I want you to go to common condition, objects, pick the nearest objects. This is kind of the AI for our flaming tank, and choose enemy. At the X position, we will be using the fix of our flaming tank, so type fix or whatever you name it, fix, and you do type that also. Don't mind me, I'm trying to save time. The X position of the face 2. Now you apply this. Now what you put in this action is first show the hitbox. Yeah, visibility, show the hitbox. We are not hiding it for now. Fire hitbox show, so that we can correct it if it's not facing the right way. Now the second is rotates the grand finale. Now angle, rotates flaming tank. Oh sorry, the angle or position. Okay, rotate flaming tank, make sure it's flaming tank, towards the enemy X position and enemy Y position. It's my Y position at the speed of 96. Okay, now we'll be running this game now. We'll be running the game now just to confirm. And here we go, our flaming tank, 1, 2, different direction. Okay, yeah, perfect. If you play the game, you can see our hitbox is still on our flaming tank. Want it to come out so that it can destroy the enemy. So by fixing that, let's go to the edit point. By default it will be here. I've already dragged it back, but I want you to change this to this point, which is 37.5, 6.5 for the y-axis and x-axis. The more you drag it back or drag it from, determine how far you want it to go. For example, if I drag it towards here, close this and apply it and run this game, you can see our flaming tank is not really out, our fire hitbox is not really out. But if I drag it backward more, it will bring out the fix of it, minus 37 minus, okay, this is not the minus, let's just put it here, it's minus 37.5, and let's close this and apply and run this again and put those tank back again. You see our face is just put it the way you want it, the way that feels okay to you. Okay, let's move on to the next phase. Okay guys, now we are done with the linking for our flaming tank. We'll be repeating this for the ice tank. So I want you to scroll down on this empty event here. I want you to right click and make a comment, and the comment is linking to object equals to ice tank. And I want to scroll up again and gradually copy all this into that box. And the first one we want to copy is this one, instant of the flaming tank. You copy and you scroll down and paste it right here, and you scroll up again and copy the instant of the flaming tank, the second one, copy and scroll down again and click this empty event right here and paste again. And finally for the last one, you copy this and scroll down, you click this empty event right here and paste again. Now what we will do here is we will change everything here to the fire to the freeze, the fire hitbox to the ice hitbox, and the flaming tank to the ice tank. You repeat that for all of this, and when you are done, I'll catch up with you guys later. Now done. I would like you to pause this place and look or check the screenshots in the description and look if you are making mistake anywhere. Finally, the last thing I want to do is this face here. This face won't work, and it won't work either in this place if you don't put the face in the object. I would like you to go to the scene and go to ice tank, the hit point, and add a new point there and name it face or name it fix. And I would like you to move that towards to the mouth of our our ice tank, which is this where the freeze will be coming out from, and close and apply that. Now if you run the game, if your event is perfect as this what it will result to. This ice tank replace, you can see it, and this is the flaming tank. Now let's, and I told you again, if you want to change the position of the hitbox, you can do that by going to this point and change it to whatever point you want, and it will be set to that point, and apply this, and you can play it and see. Now you can set this to whatever point you want. So let's move to the next phase. And finally you can drag this back to this point. So when we close the defender boss, everything will just close. Now when we close this boss, we are expecting everything to close. Now good, you can delete this, we don't need this for now. Open again. So let's move to the next phase. Okay, now we are done with the ice tank. We are done, right? Okay, I want you to make a new comment. Now it's deleting, we can't delete any of the tank. I want you to add a comment, drag it down and name it delete, and I want you to put a event down below. I want you to go up. Remember our magic events we created in the part 2. Is it part 2 or part 3? Okay, in the part 3, I want you to copy this, Ctrl C, or you can just right click and copy, drag that down, drag this down, make sure you click on this empty event and paste that here. And what I want you to do again is delete this, we don't need that anymore, and scroll up and you also delete this. We are making a new event called delete that will delete all our tank. Before I move on again, real quick, I want to make our tank a group so we can delete all at once. So click here, add a group. This group name is called tanks, and enter it and edit. We'll be adding our tank, our defender, apply, okay, no apply, our defender, flaming tank, and our ice tank in one group, and apply this. Now go to events and change the defender. It's colliding with defender. This time around is tanks, is colliding with tanks. Tanks is colliding with tanks. Delete. Tanks. Now if you run it, is weird because to delete our ice and flaming tank have to do it on a method of deleting because there are objects linked to them. So in order to do that, we have to create a new separate deleting for the ice tank and the flaming tank. So first thing first, let's create a comment for our flaming tank. And make another comment for our let's add another event here, then make another comment for the ice tank. The first thing we're doing is click on the action condition and add a sub event for each object. Drag that up, and the object is flaming tank. Okay, go to action, and I want you to pick the nearest object. Fire. I want you to pick the nearest object that is close to flaming tank fix, and I want you to also repeat that for the Z position. Change the X to capital Y, and the second thing I want to put is distance. Fire hit boss variable distance to parents. +1 according to the way you want it to delete. +1 is the best because I've done it before. If it's close to the hit boss, +1 it will delete, or if you put +5 it may delete other hit bosses close to the same tank. So +1 is literally the best. Okay, now what I wanted to do is copy this, copy and paste it in ice tank. I want to change the name starting from the flaming tank to ice tank. I want to enter the first boss and change the fire hit boss to ice hit boss, and the flaming tank face to ice face. And okay, now repeat this for the distance. Fire hit boss to ice hit boss, the fire hit boss here to ice hit boss also. Okay, now next thing is action. I want you to delete it. So objects, delete fire hit boss. Okay, just copy, click copy and paste, delete for the ice hit boss. Now we'll repeat this for the fire particles. Copy and paste in this empty event here, and leave it flaming tank. Change this hit boss to fire, and change this also to fire, or you can just enter it so you won't make any mistake. Change also this hit box, fire hit box here, to fire, and okay, and change this to fire as well. Now that's for the flaming tank fire particles. Now for the ice tank particles, I'm going to copy, copy by right clicking so you won't make mistake, and paste and change the ice hit boss to freeze. Now you can enter here so that won't make mistake too. Now change the ice hit boss to freeze, and change the ice hit boss here also to freeze. Now okay, now change the ice hit boss for deleting to freeze. Now if you run it, you see we can delete, and we can paste, we can delete, without it's been. Now done with the deleting. Now let's move to the next phase. Okay guys, before we move to the next phase, I would like to let you to know something. This deleting, apart from the creating of the tank, and this deleting and the linking of these two objects literally took me 2 weeks to crack how to make this happen in a tower defense game. I kept searching and researching online how will I make this happen. Then I come up with the Gdevelop example, which I see in the Gdevelop, and I see this example being an object into another. That example gave me insights on how to make it happen. Then I have problem putting that in a tower defense game. I keep trying different solutions, and I finally come out with this one we just did now. When I'm done with the linking, the deleting is all that stuff that gave me problem. Like I try to delete the object, I try different way, and this is the most decent way. I'll call it one of the best way that can delete objects. And I will post on that video. It's supposed to be the part 5, but it's not the part 5. It's like a looper, like the mistake I make from day 1 to day 4 of this tutorial of tower defense game. And that's just it. I just wanted to know. Let's move to the next phase. Okay guys, before I move on, I would like you to close this boss, but before that I would like you to correct a little mistake which I made when I'm making the fire hit boss. Just put an object around an angle, and around another. I would like you to change this flaming tank. It's supposed to be fire hit boss, but for some reason I changed it to flaming tank. For change it back to fire hit boss is the right way to do. That's what we do in our ice tank. You can see it here, fire hit boss, ice hit boss. And I would also like you to close this boss now, so move to the next phase for the deleting of our enemy when the fire is colliding with it. I would like you to add a new comment, drag it down, and in the current comment fire and ice effects. And I would like you to make an event beneath it, and object is colliding with another, which is our fire hit boss is colliding with our enemy. I want us to delete the enemy, and I want us to add a goal which is 5. This was 10, I changed it to 5 because it's better. And I want us to add another event beneath it, and do the same for our eyes, but this time it's not deleting the enemy. We'll change the pathfinding. We want to slow down the enemy each time our foot is colliding with the enemy, so we'll go to pathfinding and go to speed and change the enemy speed to equals to 50. The speed by default is 200. We are changing it to 50 each time it's colliding with the ice hit boss. Now if you run this, there is a little error in the game which you face. Okay, you can see that error right there. For the ice hit boss is perfect, but for the fire hit boss is not perfect. It's just odd, and it's not deleting the enemy. That's because our hit point isn't facing the right way. Sorry, on our fire hit boss. The center is the hit point and it's not inside the objects. That's why it's not deleting the enemy too. So we want to make it default auto, and we want to change this. We use this now because of that error we make. That's why I shift to this side. I thought it was the center. I shift in my last project I did, but it was the original. So shift the original to about 45 and close and apply. Now it will delete and it will face the right angle I want it to be. Now let's put that in the scene again. That's the way I want it to be, and that's the way it is. You can repeat the same. Our ice hit boss is correct, while flaming tank was wrong, but now we have corrected it. You can do the same for the ice hit boss, but it's correct by the way it is. So let's move to the next phase. You can close this box now. We will come back later to it. And open this box again. Sorry, I didn't change it to iSit box. I was just focused on that error because that was giving me headache. So close it. Now you can run it again and you can see our iSit box is slowing down the enemy and it's not allowing it to pass quickly. And now you can set the fire right here to delete it as soon as the eyes slow it down. So let's move to the next phase. Okay, I would like us to open the tower HP. One will deactivate the picker of our defenders once our HP is 0. So in order to do that, I want us to group them together so we won't create more events. And this group, we name it picker. And enter it, and let's add our defender picker, flaming tank picker, and ice picker, and apply that and close this box. We don't need it anymore, and go to the scene and change the defender picker to picker. Now okay guys, if you run it now, you see our, we can pick this object once our game is over, but if you are still holding it, it won't go back to the position. But once our game is over, you can pick it. You can't pick any of them, which is what you want. Now close that. Okay guys, very quick, before I move on to the shop, I like to close this box, go to the scene, give our defender a variable, add the variable and change the variable to tank rates. I'll explain in the scene, and make it 0. Apply. Now move to the scene, on defender I would like you to change the same variable to object variable, because same variable work on the entire scene and the object variable work on that particular object. Now choose our defender. Okay, now you can close this and go to our shop. Here we'll start creating something. The first thing I want to do here is change this variable to object variable. Since we have changed it for our creation, let's change it for our shop. So defender variable is set to 1, right? Is it 1? Okay, 1. Let's change it also here. This is the same variable. Change it to object variable, modify variable of objects, defender variable tank rates is set to 1. Sorry, 0, not 1. 0 is set to 0. Okay, now before I move on, I would like you to know quick thing. We will duplicate this for this first part for our flaming tank and ice tank, then the second part for flaming tank and ice tank, and so on until we do the 3 tank finish. So let's start. You copy this, or you can copy it this way and paste that again. Now change the defender to flaming tank and change the crates. Flaming tank has its own variable and its own is fire tank. Change it to the fire tank, set to 1. Now repeat that for our ice tank. Ice tank to have its own variable, its own is freeze tank. Now you go to the action. The first action is the defender. Change the defender to flaming tank. Change the crates, it has its own variable, fire tank, and do the same for the ice tank. It has its own variable, freeze tank. Now let's move to minus gold. Copy this and paste it and paste it again. Now you set the money to the amount you want your flaming tank to cost. I want my flaming tank to cost 200, so I'm setting 200, and I want my freeze tank to cost 100, so I'm setting 100. Or sorry, I'm setting 99. If it's less than 99, you shouldn't be able to pick your freeze tank, and if it's less than 199, you should be able to fit your flaming tank. So go to the action and change the defender pick to flaming tank picker, and defender pick again to ice tank picker. Now leave this place, go to the click. Now copy this, paste it again. Now change the second one to flaming tank picker, and the third one to ice tank picker. Now go to the action on behavior on flaming tank, change it to flaming tank picker. Now ice tank picker. Now down to the money. Before I go to the money, I forget to make the action here. Change on the action, set it to 2 and click 3 on the action, the picker, set it to 2 and 3 for the flaming tank and the ice tank. Now let's go to the money. Copy this and paste again. Now add our money. If our money is greater than 200, we want to activate our fire tank, and if our money is greater than 100, we want to activate our flaming tank. So let's go and change this to flaming tank picker, flaming tank again picker, sorry, and change the ice tank to ice tank picker, and change it again to ice tank picker, and change the click to click 2, and change this to click 3. Come again and also make sure our picker here is changed to click 2 and our eyes is changed to click 3. Okay, some explanation here. Because our variable is particularly on that object, we don't need our magic event again. Defender is colliding with defender and delete defender. We don't actually need it again because this is doing a great job. If you play this now, we have not added the money for our flaming tank. Oh, that's very bad. Now scroll up and add flaming tank, subtract 200 from our flaming tank, and subtract 100 from our ice tank. Now let's run this again. But for now we are done with the shop. You can close that. Now go to defender, find that hitbox and hide it. We are done with it. Yes, the first one, the fire hitbox, hide it, and the second one, the ice hitbox. Now hide it, and you can close this box, and we'll come back for the last phase of this tutorial. I forgot to run my example. If you play, let me run my example. Now if you create this tank, we don't have enough money to create our defender, we don't have enough money to create our ice tank, or either the flaming tank again. Once we have enough money, it would enable us to create either of this tank. Now let's close this and run this again. And if we create our ice tank, we have enough money to create our defender, and if you delete our ice tank with our defender, it didn't minus money. We didn't put any variable like that. Why didn't it minus any money? Number one is because we have removed it from the scene variable to object variable. Now it's focusing on the object variable. That's why, and the object variable understood that you don't have to minus money if a tank is being deleted. And two, it's not glitching again. If you run this again for the third time and play it, you see our money is not glitching when we purchase a tank. That's the solution for the object variable. That's why it's better if you are making something for a single object, use an object variable. If you are making it for the entire game, you can use the same variable, but object variable is preferred for objects. So let's move to the next phase of this tutorial and the last phase of this tutorial probably. Finally, let's end this tutorial, this game. Now create a new event and give it a group it, and name this group let's end it. And before we end this, let's go to the scene. I would like you to create some object and change the new scene name. Go and change that scene name to rename this scene to tower defense or TD. I'll go by TD. Now let's open our scene again because I've changed the name to TD. Now go to events and drag this back, come over here again, so for the turn around, and I want you to create extra 3 objects, just 3. The first one is saying you win, because we can't be playing a game that we are not winning. So let's create our test. I'll say you, capital letter, you win, and the size maybe 60, and the object name is win. Now change the color to maybe green, or choose any color of your choice. Now bold, leave it that way. And the second test we'll be making is the test that asks you to restart the game if you lose, or if you lose. Now display test, want to name this play again. I know my own, I say I want to play again. You can change it to whatever you want. Play again, and we name the object name. Object name is the play again. Let's not get it complex. Maybe change the size to about 45. I have not tried 45 before. And change the color to maybe dark blue, and apply. And the last object is quit. Once the game is over, you win or you get defeated, it will give you an option to quit it. Let's change it to maybe 50, maybe 45. 45 will be too big. Name this quit, and name it also quit, and change the color to white and apply. Now let's really end this game. Okay, one last thing before we start to put the last event. Let's create our timer, the 4th object. I forget to create it, and let's name this timer, and can leave it 0 here and change it to 50. Change the color to dark blue or anything dark. You know the scene is already light blue, and drag this to the scene. And I forgot to mention also, I also put this to the scene. I didn't show you that. Now you can see the size I use, and for the play I use 35 and slightly, and for the, you can just use any size. Just quitting, it doesn't mean anything. So let's go to the event and really end this game this time. So the first action we'll be creating here is our at the beginning of the scene. So at the beginning of the scene, even though this is the end of the scene, probably at the beginning of the scene, go to action and variable, same variable, name this variable winning time, and is set to 80. The time I want the game to end, I want it 80 seconds time the game end. And winning time is set to 80. I want to reset this. I want to reset, use this, sorry, use this. I want to reset our win. Okay, and hide our win test. And add another event. Modify the test. The test we are using is timer. I want to modify it to set to time. Make sure you put that plus to string, the string number, then type variable with capital letter and give a bracket and type winning time, remember, and close the bracket, double the brackets, and okay. Add on my event, and this event is the time is greater. Sorry, the value of a sync timer, the time is in second, wanna use 1, and the name of the time is winning. Sorry, in seconds is 1 and the name of the time is win, not winning. Add another event, and this event says that our time is -1 as variable, same variable, which is our winning time is less than 1. If it's less than 1, I want it to end the game, so we'll set the time scale to 0. And I want to reset the win time, so I don't reset the win time. I want you to deactivate the behavior of picker. Deactivate, yes. Sorry, deactivate is no. Deactivate, no. And finally, I want it to show win, not hide, show win. Now I create a sub event, and I want it to do trigger one. So what we'll do here is what we are doing here is we want to create the win and the show, because they can't, the win and the play again, because they can't be in the same while we are playing the game. So what we want to do here really quick is marking the size of the win. Our win is 204,218. Then I want you to create it at that position. Now let's create win, create at the S position of 204,218. Okay, and I would like to create the next object. Ctrl C and paste it down. The next object is the play again, and let's check the position also, 301,340, and change it here to 301,340. and 340. Now let's change the zip order of these objects, these two objects. The first is the wing. Set the zip order out, just use 30 or 20 and okay. Now copy this and paste it here and change it to play again. Okay, and add another event that says the touch is down. Sorry. And add a sub event that says it touches on an object. We want to use first the play again and copy, and I'd like you to add another sub event again and paste that here and change it to win. Sorry, and change this to quit, not win, quit. Okay guys, before we create the action, I'd like you to change something really quick here. This win, change it to quit. Is quit supposed to be quit, not win? Change it to quit, and also change the position of the quit. Go to the scene and check the position of quits. 359401. So change it 359 401. Now action on play again and change the scene to TD. This will restart the scene once the player click play again, and let's quit it once our player is on quit. So quit the game. Now I would like you to copy this and open your tower HP, make a sub event here. On the sub event, I want you to paste this. I would like you also to go to the scene and delete the quits and play again and run this and see. Now game over. Now let's check if we could win this game. Let's play again. Okay, because the game is kind of hard to win, I want to check our win. Let's reduce the time to maybe 5. Set the time to 5, or you can leave it 8 and play this again. So let's check if our win will come out when we win the game. 6 5 4 3 2 1 0. Win. Play again. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. Okay guys, here comes the end of this video. Wow, what a full TD game we made together. Hooray! Yeah, download link is in the description, and also download link of the project is also in the description. And you can support me by subscribing to my channel, and if you find this video useful to you, you can like this video, share to your friends, and show them see the game. Thank you guys for watching. It means so much to me, and thank you also to my 30 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all for supporting me on YouTube. I love you. Thank you. See you on my next video.